Welcome to Who Put This On, Season 4, Episode 39, where we watch Below Deck Sailing Yachts. I'm Chris Lorenz.
This is James. It's Sailing Yacht, not
Whatever.
yachts.
Robert Kith.
Brian.
Maxnetic North, but you can call me Donkey Dick.
Okay.
You said it.
Noah.
Noah Singer.
Yeah. This is a doppelganger. As I don't know if we're going to keep... Anytime we do these, I guess we'll just call them a doppelganger. We did the show... I don't know. Does anyone have the details of the last one we did, Below Deck Mediterranean? Like, it was a long time ago.
It was a while ago.
It was like season 2, I'm going to say.
Maybe we'll get some sort of internet corner on that. I don't know.
The internet will result.
But
in
anyway,
an answer.
Below
Rob,
Deck Sailing Yacht.
Give
What
us
is
this
this show?
Sailing Yachts. Give it to us.
It's not yachts. He's doing a Kingston again, guys. You can't let him get away with this.
All right, buckle up. This is a meaty show description we got coming up. Bravo sets sail on the newest iteration of the highly rated and acclaimed original franchise with Below Deck Sailing Yacht. Trading in the motor yacht famed on Below Deck, this series is set on a luxury sailing yacht with a new crew and equally demanding charter guests looking to follow the wind as they cruise along the crystal clear blue waters of Corfu, Greece. What's the next part? When the sails are up, the crew's already difficult job gets tougher as they must contend with maneuvering the sails in high winds and adapting to the steep tilt of the boat, all while troubleshooting the needs of the guests and any issues may arise. Constantly at the whim of the wind, it's a sailing lover's paradise, and getting there is part of the fun as they visit the colossal cliffs, explore the breathtaking sights, and the beaches in the sun-drenched Ionian Sea. The physicality of working on a sailing yacht brings two challenges to these young, attractive, and adventurous yachties who are ready to work hard and play harder.
Oh, yeah.
Below Deck, tensions between the crew are amplified by the conditions of working aboard a sailing yacht, which has a sleeker design than their motor yacht counterparts, and with a smaller galley, almost non-existent stew stations, and cramped living quarters. And while two yachties start a roller coaster romance so intense it might sink the yacht, resident couple Paget and Ciara's existing relationship gets pushed to new boundaries. That's your Below Deck Sailing Yacht on Bravo.
Jesus
Holy
Christ, that was a
Christ.
journey.
Is that the end of the podcast?
All right, all right.
That's it.
Everyone give Rob a round of applause there.
Good
Clap
job.
your
job,
hands.
good
Clap.
job. Where are the yachts, though? This is sailing yachts. I mean, so this is what do we call this? Like a slice of life kind of show? Like it's around a business.
It's a Vanderpump.
Yeah, it's
show.
Vanderpump Rules. I don't
For
know.
sure.
I don't know if that was the first show to do this, but it's like
It is.
It's just
Here's how we're running this business. You get some, insight into what's going on. Yeah, it's one of those.
and you just follow the people and their drama that work at this business, which
And also,
happens
they're
to
all
be
boning.
Yes.
What else
which
are you
happens
doing
to
out
be
at
this
sea?
yacht, which is bananas. Like these people, there's like 8 of them living in like 3 rooms, and and that includes the captain.
Yep.
So
The
like,
captain and the main engineer just sharing a room together.
So, key difference from the previous Below Deck shows. The captain is sharing a room on this one, and it is not a luxury room.
No.
It is just like a standard.
he does have a
member's room
double
cabin.
though.
That's true. He has a double bed,
Yeah, he's
which
got
he
a
says has formed to his body, so he prefers
Yeah.
that bed.
So I'll briefly go what happens to this episode. The intro, all 8 people and what they do. Then they like clean up this ship because it's been sitting in dry dock for 9 months, and they like then this guests come in and they do stuff. They get food, they eat. There's a lot of drama, and then the episode kind of ends.
Somebody misses their wedding.
Yeah, there's a
I would say medium drama.
Yeah, I mean, if there wasn't for like honestly, the show kind of moved. Like there was definitely like we weren't sitting and watching them clean for like an hour. We were like, 20 minutes, but most of that was just learning who they were and not like luxuriating in it. And like the guest piece kind of moved too, so it wasn't just like, these guests are just here and they're complaining all the time,
There's definitely like an episode 1 vibe of they're trying to set up a lot of potential relationship drama
Yeah.
coming down the pipe. That's not really there yet. but the signs are being set.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of signals, a lot of indications of things to come.
I can't imagine that they don't like set up these relationships when they actually try to film the show, where they're picking the people to be on this like, yacht. There's no way they're not like, oh, they want the most single people, the most people that like most attractive single people on this boat for sure.
You had Jenna with her history of boyfriends. Like
Yeah.
this is the person we need on this show.
Definitely. All right, so let's go through the people.
Yeah.
We got Glenn. He's our captain of the ship,
Captain Glenn.
and he seems pretty nice. Like he seems pretty chill.
Yep.
Like he's not like yelling at people. He's just kind of like helps when he can and just make sure that sailboat sails.
Very level-headed guy.
Yeah.
Very, very self-proclaimed, laid-back kind of fella.
So
Very,
James,
very different from a Captain Sandy vibe.
Oh, very different.
I have a question for you.
What do you have?
How do you become the captain? Do you like
Yeah.
buy your own boat, or you like
Oh,
the?
I see.
Are you the steward or whatever? Then you work your way up.
Well,
just-
like-
so I think
just-
there's two main routes here. One, you buy a boat and you can declare yourself the captain because it's your boat. But the more realistic route is because these boats are many, millions of dollars. I don't really know the numbers, but many millions. These are super yachts. Is you generally work your way up, and generally in these cases, either as a deckhand, working their way up the line, then typically either to a first mate, and then into a captain slot.
Okay.
And it takes years in the industry. You're learning because as you go, like you'll have opportunities as a deckhand to like maybe drive the boat or park the boat or dock it, etc. You kind of get experience over the years, and then you kind of keep working your way up.
All right.
So in the movie Captain Phillips, the bad guy takes over the boat and says, "I'm the captain now." Is that a valid way to become a captain?
It's another way to do it.
You can definitely commandeer a boat. It's called pirates.
Oh,
Yeah. So this
Pirate
yacht
Max.
was 180 feet, right?
Yeah.
According to the quick answer on Google, a typical 180-foot Mel's yacht, unclear what a Mel's yacht is, if it's something fancy, but anyway, 35 to 40 million.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if you
Chunk
can
of
afford a $35 to $40 million yacht, you can probably afford to pay someone else to be the captain. Be like, you got this. I'm just
You
gonna
don't
hang out."
want to be the captain.
But also, if you
Well,
can
but that's
afford
the
it,
thing.
why are you renting it out? Right? It's like, if I can afford it, it's like, I want to go on it when I want to go on it.
But like, if you want to go on it 3 weeks a year, the rest of the time you just make some money off this investment. That's just smart.
If it is 3 weeks a year, then yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think you make enough money. So like,
Ooh, I don't. I think these people are making some money.
so I looked it up. They said that it costs $195,000 a week to sail on this yacht.
Yeah.
Wait. Cost $195,000 like to sail and run it, or to stay on it? As
No, if you wanted to charter this
Okay,
boat
okay.
for a week, it's $200,000.
Yeah, I'm on a website for this too. Yeah, that's like definitely the cost.
It just doesn't seem like you're going to get that many people to charter a $200,000 boat.
Chris, when are we doing it?
I don't know. When you pony up, I'll be there.
people
Anytime, anywhere.
people are doing it.
We'll go to Greece. You pay for the yacht. I'll be there.
Yeah, but we did see when we did Below Deck last time, which by the way we did in June 2018 of season 3 of Who Put the Song.
Ah,
Hey,
So
we did see that it was about like half off.
yeah.
to be on the TV show.
Yeah. I forget the exact, but I think it was like that boat was cheaper, but I think it was like 50,000 for 4 days.
It was significantly discounted.
Yeah, but it's still like 50,000 for 4 days. Like it's not like that's chump change.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you can always just tell by the tips. You're like, whoa, man. Like when you're leaving like 15 to 25 grand as a tip, you're like, okay, shit, not cheap.
Yeah.
It's just anyway, so we get back to the other people on this boat. Speaking of the first mate, we got Paget, which is the first mate on this
Not
boat.
the first mate, lead deckhand.
Both.
Did this one they actually call him first mate?
Yeah, so they called him both. Like when they were going to intros on like the TV show, he was deckhand, but when he introduced himself to the guests, he was first mate.
Interesting.
I mean, I wrote first mate down, and I didn't make that up.
Yeah, I concur. The first mate was awarded to him at some point.
Got it.
Whether it was consistent or not, I don't know.
Like
Right.
there was definitely we'll get to someone else who had a role change announcement during the show. So maybe he started as the deckhand, got upgraded to first mate during the show. And it
Well,
wasn't super
so this is actually a thing that's different from the other shows that I learned in the like. I don't know if they're like the after hours or the follow up, like the show behind the scenes stuff. So I've seen a couple of these. Heads up,
The podcast
I'm
within the
in too
show?
deep on the show.
Some might say you're below deck.
Right, I'm below the deck. But in that, they actually show the actual first mate on Mediterranean and the normal one.
Mm-hmm.
And the first mate is a whole nother person that is never on the actual show. Doing like first mate stuff. They're like
Wait.
driving the boat and like
Oh.
doing shit. But they're never in the actual show. It was nuts.
Wow. So there's more crew that they don't put on these shows.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
That was like mind blowing when I saw this in like the behind the scenes.
That is
thing.
mind blowing because like it's already small quarters to begin with, and like you're stuffing
We're
more
already
people
talking
in
like
this thing.
8 people, so now there's
Yeah.
like at least another dude.
I don't-
maybe more.
But like
know, it's
on this,
unclear.
is that part of the thing of the smaller boat this time that we actually there aren't more people than this
I
one?
think on
'Cause
this one there
we
are
see
not
the
more people.
engineer with someone's been called the first mate. Like maybe this is the whole crew versus
I
on the other
think
one. There's
this is
more.
the whole crew because like the other one, they sort of hinted at there are other people like the engineer. Like you see them go fix stuff, but they're not like a mainline character or personality.
Exactly.
This seems like as
is
it's
it.
presented.
Right.
This is it.
I think this is the full crew, unlike the motored yacht ones, where I think there are at least 1 or 2 engineers as well, and the first mate, which are not part of the show.
So big question. Obviously, there's a production crew making this, right? So you have a boom guy, camera guy, maybe even someone else. Do you think they stay on the boat, or that space is so precious they actually have to get off the ship at a certain point?
Drones.
I think that they're staying on the boat, and the reason everyone is so cramped is because they're on the boat.
Interesting.
So
Like, there's a whole other room for the camera crew, like this crew, where like either you probably have this. So we'll get into it, but the first steward and like the other guy that's sleeping with the captain probably would sleep in that room if it like normally, or something like that.
I suppose the other way to go is potentially like if they're getting a discount on renting the yacht, that maybe there's like another guest room and that gets taken over by the camera crew, and that they get to actually sleep in like a real guest room and like better accommodations than the real.
You think that chief would take that? or
You,
the
you know
chief, the
what?
captain.
This sounds like a great like. If you were the cameraman, you're just getting paid to be on this otherwise $200,000 a week situation.
Oh yeah,
It's
It
a
sounds-
way better deal than the deadliest catch camera crew. Like that's a rough one.
This sounds like a great.
well, it's like I heard like way back in the day, I heard like people who were camera people for The Amazing Race were like these documentary people, and they're like normally we're doing these like way more dangerous things than being a camera person in The Amazing Race is like almost like a vacation. You're just like you're going on these charter plane, well not charter plane, but you're like getting these plane tickets and you're just like riding in cabs. You're just following these people around. It was like super fun for them. and stuff
Totally.
like that. Even though you're like running around with cameras as these people are running around doing things. It was like really fun.
Speaking of the first mate,
Yes.
in this show, he is in a relationship with what they called the deckhand, Sierra. And they've been, him, her, and the captain have been working on the boat while it's been in dry dock. So they're,
working on the boat. I think I gotta
Working.
put some air quotes on that working.
yeah, I don't know. They've been living on the boat. At least Sierra and Paget
Yeah.
have. It's unclear if the captain was or not.
Yeah, no, he was. They said all 3 of them.
Can I talk a bit more about this? Because
Yeah.
there's more to it. Okay, so Ciara has lived on a boat since she was 15. Her parents decided, we want to live on a boat. So they got a boat and they moved their family to the boat. And they hired this guy named Paget to teach them how to sail. And now she's sleeping with him.
And working with them.
For
And
4
working.
years.
Yeah.
Long time.
One might
Boat
s-
people.
Well, yeah, and they said so. Yeah, they met that way, and then they started working together. And then they're like, well, to save money, let's start living together. And then they start living together, and they're like, well, we could also just start dating. So then they're dating. Boom.
When do you think the banging happened first? Was it when they were working together or when they were living together?
Do you think
Or
Paget is
that they
her
were-
first mate?
Oh.
I think it was when they started living together, but before they were quote unquote dating.
Was
Okay.
she an adult?
Hopefully.
How
I'm
old's
gonna
Paget?
say yes.
I don't know. Yeah, it's unclear. It's very some nebulous timelines going on here.
Maybe that's why they weren't officially dating yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, Rob.
That's the deckhand situation.
It's kind of
Well,
it's
there's one more guy,
well, I mean,
but he's
the relation
he's a bro, right?
He's the bro guy, Parker.
American bro guy.
Park, or you mean
His
Byron?
personality is he's.
Oh yeah, Parker, the
Parker.
deckhand.
Parker is the other deckhand.
Yeah, there's nothing to say about Parker right now.
Not much to say yet.
We got the chef.
I got it. The chef
Is
is
Adam.
Adam.
is back.
Who we know
Yeah.
from Below Deck Mediterranean.
Yeah, they showed a clip of the episode we watched.
Yeah.
where
that's
he
great.
like gave them the wrong dish or something. I don't remember the details.
because the preference sheet was wrong. Learn the lore, Chris.
Yeah, I mean the big change is Adam kept getting shitted on in Mediterranean, and people seem to respect his chef skills in this one.
At least for now.
Yeah, for now.
We'll wait for the drama.
We got 3 stews. We got the chief stew is Jenna from Ontario.
Man, I'm so proud of you.
Where exactly in Ontario is she from, Rob?
Sault Ste. Marie.
Sault Ste. Marie. How is Sue spelt?
Sault.
That's some bullshit. We got Madison, who
Well, so on Jenna though, she is a self-proclaimed Navy SEAL of stewardness.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not a bitch. I'm like, lies. Absolute lie. Like, you gotta own it. Like, I'm gonna be a bitch because I want this place to be like a clean. I want to get that extra grand in tips. So
she
like,
is all in. She is hardcore, brought up from the ranks, like just ready to get the town on this thing.
Yeah.
Everything is immaculate.
and she's really looking for that one guy, that special guy, which I'm sure is going to come up in, this drama-filled season on Bravo.
It's so there was this montage of like photos of her with different guys.
like
Are these all
20
guys she met working on yachts?
Oh, 100%.
she said
Okay.
all of them are yachties.
All of them are yachties. Okay.
So it's like it shows at the bottom like 2015 X number 1 picture, 2016 X number 2 picture. Repeat 2 more times.
yeah.
Yeah, and their faces are dotted, blurred out, kind of like a cop show type of feel to it, which added just a little strange tinge to this season of Below Deck.
So here's the question: do you think that they couldn't find them to like get the permission, or do you think that things ended so horribly that they just didn't bother?
Davy
it's
Jones' locker took him.
It's funny this way.
no.
Yeah,
Like-
I'm with Chris. I think it's funnier to blur out all their faces for the show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also just like, why spend the time to call and send them a thing? Like, just blur it. There's like 6 people.
Yeah.
We got the second stew,
Yeah.
Madison.
Madison.
She describes herself as a Energizer Bunny. I personally think she has kind of a like Paris Hilton vibe going.
What are the 2 C's she requires?
Candy and caffeine.
And what's the third C, James?
5 drunken tattoos.
Well, let's talk about the drunken
Get
tattoos.
into that.
Wait,
Oh.
what was the third C? People are going to be hanging on the edge of the seat.
There is no third C. It was made up.
James said the third C was cocaine
She
during the
seemed
episode.
like she was putting off a cocaine kind of vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. So she does have some other tidbits
I mean,
about.
when you say that you live off of caffeine and candy, like it's not that far off to assume.
It's a wink, wink.
She has 5 drunken tattoos. She loves getting drunken tattoos. She got one of them with her ex, apparently, at the same time. And one of them is meow, written in the inside of her mouth under her lip. So, like, you'd put your lip out like this, and there would be meow written there. And then her great line, what was it, Max?
I don't know.
I don't even like cats.
There you go, Noah.
Yeah, I gotta say, she seems like a party in a box.
Oh yeah.
Like one night, just like going out to like bars with her, I think would be great. Two nights, too much.
So
2 nights are
James,
different.
Imagine 3 months in a row.
Go
It's
ahead,
my
Brian.
favorite
Sharing a
Fast
room
and
with
Furious movie. 2 nights too much.
What do you
nights
think
are-
the other 4 tattoos are though? So all 5 of the drunk tattoos are
They're-
in places that you can't visibly see.
They all say meow.
That'd be funny, but they definitely don't. But that'd be funny.
Well, yeah, you'll have to let us know
I'll have
when
to
you
see.
when
I'll
you
have to let you know.
I do like the bottom inner lip tattoo. I've always been a fan of that.
What are you getting on your bottom inner lip, Noah?
I mean, yeah, I was pretty
a
clever.
Facebook like the thumbs up,
There's the
Oh,
thumbs
the
up.
thumbs up.
Pulls his
Yeah.
mouth down. It just has a thumbs up.
Company branded.
and then you could do maybe try to like get the thumbs down out of
No,
it.
what if you got the Who Put This On logo on your
No,
up,
you
on
guys
your
are
lip?
all so off. He's gonna get a dachshund tattoo.
That's pretty good.
So
Memorialized.
Noah, you said you've always liked this location for a tattoo. So what is
Yeah.
one that you've seen that you liked?
A lot of rappers have it too.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm a fan of tattoos that you can conceal easily. That is a very
is-
easily concealable tattoo.
It's already concealed.
I also like tattoos that you can see for yourself easily, right? To like remind yourself of whatever reason you got the tattoo, and that's another one. You just go in the mirror and you're like, pop, boom, cool.
All right. So after Madison, we've got Georgia, the third steward. She's a self-taught steward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She grew up. I don't know what yacht or where she was a steward at, but she was the only one self-taught. I'm not sure you're not spending $200,000 to be on that boat. You're spending like
$5?
I don't know.
The boat they're renting, you think?
No,
No,
the
no,
boat
she's saying-
Georgia
yeah.
was a steward for
Oh.
by herself as a no
Yeah.
experience steward.
Yeah.
Like you're not spending any money on that boat.
She's been working her way up the ranks.
It's the Seattle
That's
to West
not usually
Seattle
how-
ferry.
Wouldn't you start out as a third steward to like? Wouldn't that be frequently be like, oh, you've never been a steward before? You're the third
I
or
feel
fourth
like-
steward.
I think it's common for these shows, at least, is that, like the third stew may not have worked on like a super yacht, but that they have some sort of training either in housekeeping or hospitality of some sort, or in restaurant service. Typically, right? So it's like, okay, they
Yeah.
have like one of those skills. So then it's just like they have to learn some other stuff and then learn how to be on a boat.
Yeah.
But she didn't have any of that. Self-taught.
From
well, I mean,
Pinterest
she
and
has
YouTube.
experience, just like
Right, working on
not-
boats. Yeah. Not
like,
big time.
not an actual experience.
Yeah. The other thing interesting about her is so she's from South Africa,
South Africa.
but has an interesting accent that is not South African.
Heavy British.
British accent that she got for a fake British accent from her mom, who studied in the UK, and then returning thought it would be interesting to give her kids fake British accents.
Well, I don't think she intentionally did. It's just like
no, she definitely intentionally did it.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's how it was described.
I just like, well, her mom spoke like that, and well, you're growing up around your mom, so
No, yeah, she.
That's
definitely
what I
said
assumed,
Her mom
too.
thought it would be interesting to like give her kids British accents.
wow, that's pretty cruel.
So
I don't know if it's cool, but it's definitely interesting.
So, like, if you have this accent and you move to actual Britain, would you eventually get a real British accent? Like, or is it just like forever and ever you have this like weird accent?
If you were there long enough, it depends how long you were there.
I have a data point on this.
Okay.
I have a cousin who lived in Maine until she was 6,
Emmy?
moved to Britain. No, not her. Talks like a complete Brit now.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would happen
Well,
later in life.
Yeah, I mean, definitely different if you're a kid, for sure. But if you move as like a 21-year-old,
Actually, her mom also has like not a full British accent, but like sort of this weird straddling American British thing.
yeah,
I think if you have a close to British accent and then you're immersed in real British accents, it's more likely to
Yeah.
evolve into that than if you have an American accent and you go live in London for years and to have that transition happen.
What if
Rob,
you
has
what if you
your
try?
accent Americanized at all, or is it
100%.
100%?
Yes.
But can you say 100 again?
100.
Oh, yeah, that sounds very American.
Yeah.
What is like a word that most explicitly showcases that?
I used to get the very stereotypical, if you say something like the word about, that there's
Okay.
the weird Canadian
Yeah.
thing to that, and I don't
About.
get that anymore.
Huh.
So the last person on the crew that we meet is Byron. He's the chief engineer.
This is exciting for me because on the other shows, the chief engineer is not a character. This guy, he seems cool. He shows up in like a cool white sport jacket or something. They're like,
Yeah.
this guy, he gets on board, and they sort of know him for some reason. And they're like, wait, you're not a guest. You're sure dressed like one, though.
Well,
Shit's
no,
gonna go down.
It is. They knew him because he worked on the yacht previously.
Yeah. For like 5 years or
Oh,
5
yeah.
years
Yeah.
before or something.
He has a wife and a 1-year-old,
Zafira.
Zafira, yeah.
which is kind of interesting to move, like, to be on this yacht life and have, like, a family. It's just like, you're
also-
gone for a long time.
But also, like, it's only like 3 months a year or something for the season, I think.
For prime season, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you can make an annual salary in 3 months, then definitely.
Yeah.
But who knows if that's enough.
People do it.
You can look at both ways. You can look at it one way of like, oh man, you're going to be away from your 1-year-old for a period of months. But it was like, I need to make some money to support this 1-year-old. And what can I do to quickly earn some more money? And this is a good way to do it. So.
And so I think the most interesting thing about this guy is that as people are coming in, like, he's the first one you see the sleeping quarters of. So, like, this is when you see the captain has, like, this, double bed. And then you find out Byron is sleeping in a bunk bed above the captain in a single. And it's very awkward, I feel, for the captain to sleep with somebody. It
Yeah.
seems kind of awkward for them, and they're, like, laughing it off, but it's still pretty awkward.
I mean, it feels like the part of this show is, people are sleeping with other people, but this is not the way we think it's going to go down. We're just like,
Yeah.
you're living in a bunk above the captain.
Yeah, they did have a lot of interior room shots, though.
Tell me more about the interior room shots.
Yeah, so who knows? I think this speaks to the number of cameramen. Maybe they have on board. They do cut scenes of people putting their shirts on very frequently. First focusing on all the women. So you get a little bra shot, and then you see them put their shirt on. And then finally, they get to a man doing this as well, just to pretend they're trying to balance it out. But, Bravo's trying to spice it up.
And it's
I'm not sure those are cameramen. I think they might have some fixed cameras in some certain spots to
100%.
to capture some of this stuff.
They get these shots constantly, and it's the thing they always show of just them getting dressed. It's just like part of it. Like, I don't know why.
It is.
I think it's just like part of the show of like, hey, we've got all these attractive people on this boat. We're going to show them putting a shirt on. And for some reason, that's part of the show.
So, like, all of the below decks, James, have
Oh, yeah.
these shots.
This is a very
So this is a.
standard protocol.
Do you know if it's a Bravo thing or is it just a below deck thing?
This is the only show I've seen on Bravo.
So,
what other Bravo shows have we done?
Oh, that's a good question. What other Bravo shows have?
I
we
mean, Vanderpump.
Is that the Jay Cutler one?
done? No, that's very
That's a
Cavallari.
derivative, so that's on Bravo too, I believe. I'm very certain. It's on Bravo.
There's some Bravo shows. I don't
Yeah.
think there was any of this on Bravo.
Yeah,
shows.
it's like I could see it being like their thing, but it's definitely like a quick, bra shot as they put their shirt on.
It's a transitional moment is all it is.
But you know what's kind of wild? So the editors are cutting from naked to not naked, and then getting the bra shot on. Like, one thing we never talked about is how the editors see all these people butt naked all the time when they're editing.
Sure.
Uh,
You know that getting on the show.
Yeah, I mean, you sign a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just never really thought of like how frequently the editors got to be staring at these people fully naked.
All
I
these
mean,
shows.
they
Each
could
and
get
every
me-
one of these shows.
Yeah.
Naked and Afraid, that's the whole show.
Dating
And you
naked.
just got to place the blurry bar over the parts, man.
Yeah.
You want to be a cameraman? Is that what we're getting at? Just like
No,
I
the
don't think he wants to be
editor,
the cameraman. I think he wants to be the blur technician.
the blur technician. You think that's your title?
he pauses. He's like, need a little blur on that one.
I mean, so the rest of the sleeping. So we've got two guys. The other two guys are sleeping together.
Adam the cook,
Adam
right?
Chef Adam and Parker.
and Parker.
Parker, that's right.
And then all three stewards are sleeping together, which
This is
this
the first.
that does not sound good.
Yeah. Are there 3 beds or are 2 of them sharing?
No,
a
there's
beds?
3 beds.
I think there's three
beds?
beds.
Okay.
There's like one bunk bed and one side bed.
Got it.
And then the couple are staying together.
Paget and Ciara.
Yeah. So theoretically, we think there's 5 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms, 5 bedrooms. Because you got the captain, you got the chief engineer, the other guy, you got the
4.
steward's cabin, and then you got the couple. But then you've got the camera crew.
I think there's only 2 camera people.
Yeah, but they have to have a room.
I think there's a sound guy and a camera dude, and
Yeah.
a bunch
Yeah.
of fixed cameras, and they're in like one bunk room. Like
Yeah,
one crew.
Right,
That's
but
what I'm
there's
saying.
a room for the camera crew.
That's the fifth room. Okay.
That's the fifth room.
Sure.
And then how many guests? do we
6
have?
guests are this boat
So it's a maximum of 6.
so far this season. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like a 6 guest like trip thing.
So I wouldn't be. That's the, like I wouldn't be surprised if the boat is designed to have 4 guest rooms, and they've commandeered a guest room for the camera crew, and so there's only 3, and that's why it's max 6 guests.
Yeah, I feel like.
But
I
why
think when
won't
they do the yacht tour? I think there's like 1 master and 2 guest rooms. But they never show the other one. But it's
Right.
I don't know if the cameraman's a guest room or a bunk room. I assume it's just a crew room because.
why
why
wouldn't the
not?
captain commandeer that room and give instead of giving it to the cameraman? Like,
'Cause you gotta keep it real life
Well, I think the
to
cameraman
the
is
yacht
sharing a room.
experience.
no, they are. But if
Right.
they were taking a guest room,
Yeah, I just don't think they are.
I don't think they are.
Because like that's another reason I think like the captain would get it, not the cameraman.
Yeah. Oh, this is the minutia we love. On should we talk about the production schedule? The production schedule.
I know there's a lot of production schedule stuff to talk about, but we can talk about it.
So now, after apparently the boat's like in disarray. They keep showing the same shots of these stupid pillows. I'm like,
Yeah.
they move the pillows. Like you keep showing it to me. Stop it.
Yeah, that was a really poor plot line to include in episode 1.
Yeah, and like
Jen is not happy though.
all the shots are just them shoving shit into random places because they don't have a place. I don't know. I don't know where you find all that stuff at the end of the day. I don't know. It seems haphazard.
It seemed like part of that was like they were, especially for this one being the sailing whole thing was like they were trying to make this point of like spaces of a premium on a sailboat. Like everything's smaller. It's hard. Like that was kind of the point they seemed to be driving. And it's kind of like as a viewer, I feel like you get it. Like it's fine. Like it's not that interesting. Like okay, cool. It's a smaller boat. We got it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like the payoff wasn't great for like the amount of effort they put into it.
agree. Like, there's a few times where like you're not sure if they are putting the things into random places. Like, there's just a couple times where they could have been more technical on explaining what they're trying to do. Like when they're getting the sails up and like when it came unhinged from the donkey deck, it was like, okay, like explain more of that, and they didn't go into it.
Well, you're gonna have to explain. You guys have thrown this.
Well,
donkey reference
no, we're not there yet.
already.
Yeah, no,
my
you
gosh.
go for it. We gotta
We're
go
not,
for
we're
it.
not even there. We didn't even know the people yet.
James, what is it?
Well, I don't know what it is.
The donkey
Well,
deck.
Oh, you're the sailing
Okay,
expert.
Well, like, all I know is what they said on the show, which was not very much.
I can explain
But
this.
they're sailing, and I'll let Max do the technical. But there's basically this like long beam, and it's like a long shaft that is big, and apparently they call it the donkey, is the layman's term, also known as the donkey dick. That's all I know.
Max, do you have a better explanation?
That's the gist of it. The long thing he's talking about is like the mainsail.
Or it's like the mast, right? Isn't it just the mast? Like,
Yeah,
what's the difference?
Yeah, it's the mast for the mainsail. There's 3 sails on this ship.
So the thing being the donkey deck would be the biggest stick. So this
Yes.
would be the biggest mast.
Correct.
Explained. So we've got their first person that's chartering the boat. What was his name, Noah?
His
Guy.
name is
Alan.
Adam Ward. He was a senior engineer, unclear exactly his level, but from 2002, accordingly to LinkedIn, is still present. But it seems like he probably got a lot of stock before Apple had its big rise, and then
Oh,
he was able to
man.
cash in.
That dude's gonna be rich as fuck.
I mean,
Yeah.
he just chartered this yacht.
No, that's what I mean, right? So if he joined in 2002 when Apple stock was still low, he probably got a healthy grant, and then it just appreciated so much that he can now take out this yacht.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
So he comes with his wife, 2 daughters, and he's supposed to come with another couple that is supposed to just get married, but they were late. They weren't there. So there's some drama there. They eventually come on a water
It's very
taxi.
confusing.
Yeah.
They were supposed to get in the day before married in Las Vegas, and then I guess somehow fly to Greece where this boat is.
It's unclear if they were supposed to get married.
And then
These guys
apparently
get on and
they
they are
didn't go to Vegas.
They are drunk as shit.
They
when
missed
get
the
there.
wedding. There was something to do with a president We don't know of any kind of anything beyond that. And what's only thing is clear is they have not gotten married,
No,
and they are
truth-
both drunk.
Yeah. Two things are clear. They have not gotten married, and they're real drunk.
Right.
Because that's all he can talk about is how drunk he is.
We also
Where's
gotta-
the tequila? So like these guys come in like near the very end of the episode, they come in like some sort of water taxi, unclear. So like from
Yeah.
where they are, how close to the shore they are, can't be too far.
No, but we got to talk about you're spending this type of money for this vacation, and you show up late. Like,
I want to know who this guy
who's doing
is.
that?
Well,
I paid $20 for a movie. I'm not showing up late.
So there's the
He
thing.
wasn't paying for it.
Did Guy spend any money, or was Adam, paying Guy's way? And so Guy doesn't mind showing up late. It's not his money anyway.
That's even a bigger dick. Like, oh man,
This guy seems like a dick.
he does. He
Some
does.
kind of donkey situation.
This guy seems awful.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's so
yeah.
helpful that his name is Guy.
yeah. He had like the little like
Look at this
front mohawk
Look
thing.
at this fucking guy.
Yeah, terrible looking guy.
Yeah. So the guests come on. There's like not that much drama
Zero drama.
from them at all. Like they want to go in the hot tub, but the hot tub's not hot yet because they didn't turn it on. Oh my god, the drama.
Well, there's a good drama of they had to call in the engineer to check it. He's like, yeah, the thing that says heater, you got to put that in the on position.
It was very like IT guys like response. Did you turn the heater button on?
Yeah.
Earning that paycheck.
I mean, the hot tub on this thing,
Yeah.
that looks really cool. It's in a really
It's a
good
big hot tub,
It's a
too.
big hot tub, and it's a great position on the boat. That's ideally, you got the Jacksonville hot tub, and you got like this hot tub. Those are good locations for hot
I
tubs.
feel like you got like a 270-degree like view from that hot tub, like almost in
Yeah.
every direction. It's great.
Yeah.
For sure.
Super cool. Once they turn that heater on, it's gonna be real great.
And like Jenna going and explaining the situation to them, being like, "There's a problem with the hot tub, but we're on it." And it's like, if you didn't turn it on, that's the
I
problem.
mean, they're on it. It's on.
They're on it.
So it's working. There's also some drama on like dinner. They were having steaks, but there were no steak knives.
Well, they said there were no steak knives, so we clearly saw some steak
Those
knives.
are
So
the crew steak knives.
The crew apparently has to bring their own cutlery. It seems.
No. Like this is just like the crew uses different silverware and plating from like the guests. They're not using the good stuff. They're using the crap in the back. That's what the difference is. So they're just using the crew
So
silverware.
the crap in the back has steak knives,
Right.
but the good stuff has no
like
steak
they don't
knives.
have the good steak knives for the guests. So they're using the shitty crew steak knives as a replacement.
So James, as our below deck expert, what happened to the good steak knives?
I mean,
I'm
I don't
very
really know, but like
curious.
what all it seemed is like they were remodeling this boat for 9 months when it was out of service. It just seems like they just didn't order.
What
some
were they
steak
doing
knives.
for 9 months?
I mean, they were like if the three people like Pageant and what's their face
Sierra.
and Glenn, Captain Glenn, like they're probably just using the crew steak knives. They just didn't realize because the boat there was shit.
So,
everywhere.
or was it somebody like the last crew stole the good steak knives? Like, it's not like.
I bet it's just like they bought some stuff, they forgot, or they're misplaced, or like whatever. But again, like that kind of stuff is going to be the chief stew responsibility, which they didn't really have.
Did
until just
Ciara pawn these steak knives? That's what I really want to know.
now. There's no further information to go on, at least yet. That's been released.
Can we go to the Twitters and ask her what she did with the steak knives?
She's on Twitter.
Tweet it.
No,
Oh, I mean, all
on
these
that.
people are trying to be social media influencers for sure.
I mean, there is a storyline here we should talk about is how asleep at the wheel Pageant and Ciara were for 9 months on this boat.
Were they?
They were remodeling it.
They forgot steak knives.
Like you're gonna forget shit. Like I don't know.
And it was messy. But
Okay.
it's unclear how messy it really was
Right.
because they definitely tried to like make it seem worse.
how is Pageant on this boat for 9 months? Doesn't know how the hot tub works. Day one, you're like, let me get this hot tub going.
100%.
Well, that's a great question. I don't know how they're not using that hot tub for 9 months.
Maybe they
But-
weren't allowed to use the hot
About
tub.
the steak knife thing.
Yeah.
This is clearly Jenna's fault.
Oh,
She is the chief stew, the head of the department, the head of the interior. She should know what kind of silverware is on that boat before the charter starts.
but like, so is the chief stew really rolling in 24 hours before the charter starts?
Right,
and,
like,
and
I
getting
don't
things
know. I
going.
don't know how
Like
this
that.
works.
That was how it was presented to us.
That's definitely always how it's presented on these shows.
Tell me the
That'd
production
be nice.
schedule, James. What do we got going on here?
I mean, that's definitely the way that they show it, which is like they roll in the day before and like, all right, we're starting the season tomorrow. Let's pull like nearly an all-nighter and get this boat ready. You're like, what? Yeah, there you go. I mean, they're not usually, at least on the other shows, like episode 1, they're not getting the boat ready. That seemed to be a new thing for this particular sailing thing.
I see.
But
Brian, you have any minutia? Anything you want to talk about?
No.
No. Real quiet over there.
No, everybody's been covering it. It's
I
great.
know. I'm just trying to see if you got any extra insight.
Brian's doing Brian.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, these people. This like kind of shows kind of messy. There's a lot of fake drama in this episode. I feel there's not like any drama.
I feel
really.
like the drama is just about the boat and getting it ready and blah, 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 which is, in comparison, not the most exciting drama.
Even
Compared
that.
to most shows we watch, there's not that much fake drama.
No, I think they extended their drama that they had
Sure.
and made things a bigger deal than they really were.
Sorry, Brian, go ahead.
No, even that, like, yeah, they're just gonna have drama later. Like, oh, the boat's a mess. Cool. Like, you were able to clean it up in 24 hours. Like, I couldn't clean up my place in 24 hours. Like, if it was that big of a disaster, how they presented it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, the only real places I got were a disaster was that main like area with like the pillows and stuff that were going outside.
That's the only.
So that's
area.
that's like not like cluttered at all because that's where they're supposed to be. And then there was like linen stuff, and they were just making the beds.
They had to
like,
put the linens away. Like,
Yeah,
put the
like-
linens away. I don't understand.
I don't know what they were doing.
They were also deep fuzzballing it. Like, those like little fuzzies that get on it.
pills.
Pills. That's
So one last thing I need to bring, my last minutia is a very negative for the show, is that before every commercial break, there's a coming up next.
Oh yeah.
If there's anything worse, like the only thing worse than like after commercial break, you just saw this, is a before commercial break teeing up drama for the next, like coming up, like no.
Chris,
I don't
you
want
just
that at
watched
all.
22 episodes of a show that does exactly that.
I don't remember them doing that too much.
It's awful.
I also wasn't really paying that much attention while I was watching that. But like it is the worst. I can't like
Yeah.
it's really just to keep you in there. Like,
But I'm
if-
watching it on demand. Like if I was watching this on TV, sure.
Here's the thing: it doesn't have that much content, so then it's just like we need to keep you hooked somehow.
So it turns a 42-minute show into like a 39-minute show because there's at least 3.5 minutes of like bullshit recaps and next. Next.
Okay, James, does this happen like every episode, like in the future?
Yeah, you just have to mute it and fast forward. It's the worst.
Damn.
But if you skip it, it's fine.
Okay.
What if you skip it?
You got to skip it.
I
mean,
just-
as somebody that has watched episodes of the show, every time I skip it or mute it,
So
it's no, because like it just ruins like when something actually happens. It's like, well, I already knew that was gonna happen, so it's just stupid. And I hate this about any show that does it. But it's just like for some reason people keep doing these shows like this.
So does Bravo like have a streaming service that doesn't have commercials on it?
I don't know. I don't think so. Even like with Hulu without commercials, you still have commercials on this one.
Well, there is. It's only on live Hulu.
yeah, no, which I have, but I'm saying
Yeah,
you still
yeah,
can't
yeah,
skip the
yeah,
commercials.
yeah.
This is one of those shows.
It's one of those shows, Rob.
One of those shows.
Is
that they're
Bravo
gonna
part of the
cram those commercials.
NBC universe? Is it going to be on the new NBC streaming service?
Peacock.
Probably.
Like this would be so glorious without any commercials. Like it's just like coming up. Here it is.
I mean, it should be on Peacock. That would be weird if it wasn't.
This show also had something we've been talking about a lot this month of the before the episode this season on preview.
Most shows do that, I feel.
Well, a month ago we're like, no shows do this, and now we're on
That's
it,
the
like,
new thing.
Every show does this.
I think that this might be a YouTube issue. Because YouTube shows the first 5 seconds or like 15 seconds of a commercial.
Yeah.
And this could be like, who knows, they upload episode 1 and they're like, put it as an ad. Who cares if they watch 60 minutes of it or whatever? As long as, but they only really care if you watch the first 5 seconds, which would be
It might be.
season on. Because it's definitely It appears on YouTube all the time.
Yeah. But I think this show did the unprecedented this season on at the start of the episode and another this season on at the end of the episode. And I thought that this season on the end of the episode
Looked
was
great.
real good.
Yeah.
And so this show had a little bit of the like the episode 1 we were talking a little bit earlier, but like there was kind of drama but not really. And I think it's like it's trying to set the scene, but like I think it's gonna ramp up as the season goes on. And James, does that fit with the below deck
100%.
recipe?
I'm 4 episodes in now, and that's 100% what's happened. It's definitely like it's the palette setter. It gets you the context. You know who everybody is. Kind of understand enough of the backstory to give a shit, but like not so much that you're like, oh my guys, please shut up and get on with it. But they're really setting the stage and teeing a lot of stuff up. It's really interesting watching this episode again. Also, this time more closely having some context of this season on. Really, it's good.
Yeah, so I can confirm that Bravo is on Peacock, and actually they promote Bravo in its own category on Peacock called Unscripted.
Oh.
Wait, is Peacock a real thing yet?
It's not out yet, but they have a promotional website, and it goes over 9 categories of entertainment they have.
Oh, okay.
And Unscripted is one, which is primarily their like euphemism for Bravo reality.
Just reality TV.
Yeah.
I want to get back to reality TV, but anyone get ratings? Anyone ready for ratings?
I have one minutia.
Okay.
There is this one thing they show at the end of the episode Stinger where this guy says, "Do you think it's funny that I still get breastfed by my mom?" This dude's like 40. And somebody off screen just replies, "Kinda."
It was pretty funny.
That's real. That's a real out of there stinger. We were like, whoa.
And then that's like literally the end. Black.
So James, 4 episodes in, has that scene happened yet?
Definitely not. I'm really going to be curious where the context and what's going on with that one.
What if
there
it's
was
not?
a lot of good stingers in the end where I'm like, having seen some of this drama start to build, where I'm like, oh, that's gonna really get to something.
Yeah.
What if the whole season that just never gets revisited? They just threw it into this season on.
It might happen. Was that Parker?
It
was that?
seems like it could have been.
I think
Was it the Parker or
I think,
Pageant, right?
I think Parker was the guy who said it. I don't know who's the guy who said the kinda.
I think that might have been Pageant.
That must be Pageant because
Right.
they're the dick people,
Right.
And with Ciara, and it definitely wasn't Ciara. So.
Yeah. There we go.
All right. Well, I'll start us off. I think it's middle third. It has potential, I think, but the next time on the commercial, like it's too much. I don't particularly care that much about these people, but it's hard to do that in one episode. So overall, it was fine. Again, it has potential. Noah, what do you got for me?
Bottom of the top. The show was really enjoyable to watch. Similar to the last Below Deck. I think just like a really fun show. The reason why it's not higher is for like the too deep of a cut into the drama and foreshadowing to come.
Max, what do you got?
Top third, middle of the top. I liked it. I like sailing. It worked for me.
Brian, what do you got?
I'll be honest, I really hesitate giving a rating right now because like we watched like the pilot and they're just like, I know Below Deck. I don't think that there was like enough to sell it like for the season,
That's
except for
legit.
like the before after. I will put it like top of the middle, but like only because I know like there's gonna be more that's happening.
Rob, what do you got?
So I'm a little torn again. I feel like based on what I saw, it was only middle third stuff, but I have a lot of faith that this is going to get better. And so part of me wants to put in the top that like I think this is a show that's going to build and give us. So I feel I haven't done. I'm going to put it in the top, but like it's sort of on the edge.
Sure.
But it's somewhat on the leap of faith that
Bottom
the
of the
drama
top.
is going to build. Yeah.
James, what do you got?
There you have it. Yeah, so I'm gonna put this in the middle of the top.
Great choice.
I will be honest. Even being a fan of both of the other versions of Below Deck, I did not expect to enjoy this one. I was actually like pretty pessimistic coming in. I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna go. It's sailing, like I don't know. It just seems different. Like, it was just Noah's giving me a weird face, but
Yeah, well, I'm
was-
just so confused why sailing is going to make it different, or like why you thought it would be so different.
like I was just really confused of like if you're spending all this money, why would you want to be on like a sailboat? and like it just seemed like you'd be more cramped and like all these concerns, right? And so I was just really confused of like, why would you be on, like, how luxurious could like a sailboat be and all that? But then having seen it, I'm like, oh, this is actually much more interesting than I really anticipated. The sailing was much more like cool, and they do more of that in coming episodes. So yeah, I mean, with that, I basically watched it. I'm like, this is actually much better. I was like surprised. And then to Rob's point, it continues to build. So it's 4 episodes in now. I've watched every episode. Can't wait for the next one to come out. Definitely going to be watching all of the season. I think what also helped me get into this one quicker in terms of the caring of the people was having one person that I already knew. So having Chef Adam on here kind of helps like have somebody you're familiar with and then see how they interact with these new people.
Yeah,
so that was fun.
I think any show we watch, when there's a sort of a crossover element, it helps.
For sure.
The Johnny Banana is a below deck.
Right.
Yeah, and I think just in all, like, I just agree kind of a lot with what you were saying. No, it's just a fun show. Like, it's a show that, like, you can be in whatever mood, but, like, it's a pretty positive vibe show. It's pretty fun. So, yeah, for those reasons, it's really in the top for me. Great.
James, I have a question for you.
Yo.
So you're on the below deck train. You're watching all 3.
Oh, yeah.
Do they overlap at all, or is it just like when one ends, the next one starts, and when that one ends, the next one starts?
There has not been any overlap. And I would say it's probably like one ends and then there's like a brief period of time in between. Then like there's a little bit of hype for the next one and then it starts.
Okay.
For the record,
It seems
there's
like they're
no
rotating.
below deck train.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
okay.
below deck.
There's only yachts.
Yeah, yes.
But there could be a below deck trains. It's a new show idea.
Oh,
Who
luxury
put
train.
this on producer hats?
There you go.
Hey.
Below deck on the Orient Express.
I do have some
Above rail.
I have some minor updates.
Ooh.
So I wanted to get back to this reality show. So like I'm listening to this podcast called
Put this on.
Slash Filmcast.
Okay.
And they brought up a good definition between, or a good theorizing
Oh,
of
no.
what
I don't care.
a documentary versus reality show is.
Oh.
Not
Something very near and dear to Chris's heart.
very near and dear to, we've talked about this many times. But their theory / definition is in a documentary, people don't get paid. Where in a reality show, people get paid.
Interesting.
So
I don't know.
That brings in a couple things I think you would say are documentaries that we should do
obviously,
now as the reality show.
I feel like it's not it could be it's not a hard line.
he's
but
already
it's-
walking it back.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely walking it back because I'm not sure I agree fully. Like I don't necessarily agree with that
I'm
statement.
pretty sure they paid the Firefest people for the Firefest documentaries.
Yeah, that's why they
Is
also
that a
said it was.
reality show, Chris?
Yeah,
Then fuck off.
I'm not saying anything. That's why I said it wasn't just me that brought up the definition. It was just a different podcast.
It is definitely a better dimension than I think what we've discussed.
Like sometimes when we watch like a show that seems more of a documentary, what quote unquote docuseries as Netflix will put it, like is like what's the fish the crab boating show?
Deadliest Catch.
Yeah, is that I'm assuming they're getting paid to be on that reality show, so that makes it a reality show versus a documentary.
Well, they get paid to be on the boat and they get a cut of the profit.
but do they
as
get paid to
do
be
these
actually on the
people.
show?
That's a good question.
Like, are they getting
I
a
assume
per
these
ep?
people, like even the show we just watched, are also getting paid to be on.
They're
the show.
definitely getting it.
Yeah, I'm assuming
And they're making tip.
both of these shows are getting a per episode
Yeah,
cut.
probably that seems reasonable.
They're getting something. I don't know how much, but they're getting something.
Maybe it's also good to like look at are there any reality shows that we don't think people are getting paid?
Like it's unclear if the Deadly Sketch if they're getting paid or not.
Okay, so
you mean specifically getting paid by the show or the
Yeah.
producers?
The show.
No one's getting paid on Feed Famous. Let me tell you.
That was actually what I was thinking about. It was like, there's no one getting paid for these YouTube reality.
Like, I don't
wait, that
think-
was BuzzFeed, right?
yeah,
They're getting paid.
no,
No, they're
Yeah.
trying to just get the social media influencer credit.
yeah.
I doubt any of the competition shows you get paid unless you win.
No,
No, they're definitely
You
getting
get
paid.
it per episode.
You
All
do?
the people in the challenge get paid.
You get a
So-
per diem.
But like on Lego Masters, the
Yeah.
Ron Swanson
Yeah,
show.
because you want to incentivize people to be on the show. So the more they're on the show, the more they get paid. They don't get a lot. They'll get like a couple thousand per episode.
No, what?
Yeah.
To be a contestant,
Yeah.
the grand prizes are like 20,000. These like
Yeah. Well,
I
that's
don't
why
think
it's only.
a couple thousand. I bet
Well, it
it's
depends
more
on the
like-
show.
Yeah, it depends on the show. It's probably like 100.
like
to
Forge and
1,000.
Fire. You think those guys are getting paid just for being on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're only on one episode. Of course, they're getting paid.
I don't know. Fortune Fire. People are getting paid if you don't win.
There are. They're
It's
probably
one
getting-
This is our
episode.
favorite topic to discuss, guys.
That we
Speak
have
for
no
yourself.
insight on.
they're probably getting at least a flight there. That's
Rate-
it.
Oh, we did rate it.
But does that count? So does getting a free room and board transportation count as being paid?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Is
then,
it taxable? Yes.
Well, is it, in a
Yeah.
documentary, you're not paying people to live in like at a hotel. Like that's the whole originator of this discussion.
You wouldn't pay people like if you're filming a documentary to like stay in this hotels if you could go and talk to them. I think
right, exactly. Right. Yeah,
Well,
I think that
this is
discounts
like very
theory.
blurry lines. I feel
Yeah.
like their argument falls apart pretty quickly, but I don't know what. I'm watching you, Max.
I whispered to Brian, I just don't care.
You could say that on the pod.
I just don't care.
So, sidestepping that, talking about some sort of shore, some sort of Floribama shore.
Oh yeah, big time.
Are you up to date, James?
The finale has happened.
Yeah.
Series or season?
Season finale.
Okay.
Honestly, I hope it's series.
Yeah.
Ooh, Chris is out. It sounds.
I'm
like.
out.
I'm a
The drama of the
Chris
season was so bad. They weren't even having fun. Like, it was terrible.
I thought it was great.
I didn't like it at all.
Would you watch a Floribama Shore family vacation situation?
In 30 years, maybe.
What's the family vacation equivalent? Is they just they go on vacation or they go visit their family?
Yeah,
No, it's 10 years from now. They meet up again.
Oh, that's 100% gonna happen.
Yeah.
Also, they've already done the destination vacation and the let's take a vacation to one of our parents' houses.
I mean, I think Jersey
was
Shore
great.
did all that too,
Right.
and then they did Family
It's
Vacation
just the
years
same
later.
show with different people, and at this point, I'm just in on the people, so you gotta have to keep watching it.
Yeah.
Can't believe you're pulling out. Crazy.
Yeah, I did not enjoy the season. So I just want to see people on the beach having fun, getting drunk. And they didn't do that this season.
There
There's-
was some real shit this season, man.
Yeah, and I don't-
Courtney was just MIA.
Are they
for
still
most of
peeing
it.
all over the place, or is that stuff?
Oh, there was a crazy pee episode. It was bonkers.
Is that just a staple episode for every season from now on?
No, this one was. Oh man, this one was so gross. Like Nilsa was so drunk one night. She's in this cab, and she's like, "Okay, give me a barf bag," and she pees in this barf bag and like fills it up and ties it. And then her other friend. Oh crap! What's the one girl's the
Courtney?
no
no.
the other one.
Maddie?
Not Candace. Not Maddie.
I don't know.
Amy.
Amy.
Amy. So like Nilsa and Amy are buds, and Amy's just holding Nilsa's pee bag on the drive home, and Jeremiah's sitting in the back just about to throw up because it's so gross.
God.
And they're like flaunting it around. It's
That's
just-
the only P story. And Courtney is not wasn't on the show this season, really. she
No,
was
like,
in one
some
episode.
Crazy shit went down, and like she like had a whole breakdown and things, and like she actually like left the show, and like she actually got like real for a second, and she like revealed some stuff. And they actually did at the end of that episode. They like cut to like a forward in time, like current day situation. It did an update, and like a one-on-one interview kind of situation, and it was a thing. She's been through some stuff. Not fun times.
So no P situations from Courtney because she wasn't there.
Courtney peeing situation.
She wasn't there.
That happened. No, I mean she was on a few episodes.
Yeah, but
Can I give a 30-second update on something I've been watching?
sure.
I've been watching. I'm on episode 18 of 22 of 90 Day Fiancé the other way. We talked about on our pod that each of these situations was truly an awful garbage fire in its own special way. 18 episodes later, it's only gotten worse. One person moved to a country to be with another person. The other person who lives in this country is already married. And
So-
didn't tell the other person.
Whoa, man.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's yeah, you're right. It only gets worse, but it could only ever get worse because in the first episode they're in the United States, and then the second episode they're in these third world countries.
South Korea is not a third world.
No, I meant,
country.
but like, you know what I mean? They're in they're in
about Ecuador
situations
here.
that they're not comfortable with languages. They could have plumbing or not have plumbing, depending on who you are.
Sure, but it could be like fun and interesting, but it's just awful.
yeah, I mean, somebody is moving to Delhi, which is like a fine city in most regards. So,
Yep.
anyone else have any other updates they want to?
So I listened to last week's Love Is Blind pod that I
Oh.
was not on, and didn't realize you need me for all the Nick Lachey details that were going on.
Okay,
Can,
give
you
it
know,
to us.
Nick Lachey is a reality TV pioneer and one of the OG.
Yeah,
you know,
he's like royalty.
yeah, one of the most famous original reality show things. Jessica Simpson not knowing that Chicken of the Sea is not chicken.
yeah.
What?
And Harrison Newman was like, yeah, he was on a reality show, I guess, with his wife, who he's on this show. It's like, no, that was a different wife. What are you guys doing?
We have no idea.
Yeah. So, Nick Lachey, someone, I guess, sometimes a potential mass singer
Possibility.
possibility.
Wait,
Can
so what show was he on?
Newlyweds.
Newlyweds.
Him
Jessica
and Jessica Simpson.
Do we have to watch Newlyweds?
Oh.
We
So
really
who's
do.
this new wife?
I don't know. Not
Yeah,
as famous as
We're
Jessica Simpson.
unclear.
That's
well,
not
like,
the point.
not famous at all.
When you get into
really.
the Nick Lachey minutia, you got to go back to Newlyweds and Jessica Simpson and Chicken of the Sea.
So I do have a minor update on Love Is Blind. Is I'm caught up to episode 9, and Nick Lachey and whatever her name is come back
Oh.
for the first time ever
Wow.
in one of these shows. They come back when they're in the honeymoon phase.
Not a LeBron James situation. After.
Not a little bit better than LeBron James, but not much. They're like there for brief intros again,
Where is the honeymoon happening?
somewhere,
Tropical Island?
some tropical place. Yeah.
That was my assumption.
Yeah. Overall, I'll give you my high level. My opinion has not changed. And I don't really care about these people somehow. Like, it's very odd to go through, like, these people getting married and just, like, not care. And I don't know how they did that. So, if you're I know a lot
you've
of.
watched 9 episodes. I'm confused where you stand. Are you in or are you
I'm out.
You're
Like,
out.
I watch, like.
What?
He's going to watch the other episode, but he's out.
So, okay, well, let's take a step back. So, I was watching the first like 4 or 5 with my girlfriend, and I was like, you can keep going. I'll just pop it on the side TV and not really pay attention. So, that's like, I'm 9 episodes in, but like, I kind of stopped caring and stopped watching like a couple episodes ago, if
see.
that makes sense. But in general, at the time, I was just like, there's a weird blow up because the one guy was bi. I was just like, really? And like both people acted like ridiculously, but then I'm like, you just know this guy for a weekend, and I get it, I guess. But that's just kind of the level of what's going on. It's not a process like some other shows.
You can't trust this process?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I cannot.
If you can't trust the process, then you
What's-
got to give up. There's
What,
no point.
what's the point of it?
All right. I think that's it for
I'm
us.
gonna give one other plug.
Okay.
McMillions. I feel like it's not getting the due credit. So HBO docuseries on how the McDonald's Monopoly game was being rigged by insiders.
Oh, yeah. I heard about this.
Rigged.
Did
do
they
what?
pay the
When?
people to be on this docuseries?
Unclear. So the backstory is, so I think it's a 6-episode limited docuseries. The 4th episode was just released this week. I haven't watched it, but quickly that basically the mafia was involved to steal winning game pieces, and then they gave those to friends to then go cash in.
The Park Place from. You ever play Monopoly in the 90s?
Damn right it did.
Okay.
McDonald's Monopoly or just the board game Monopoly?
McDonald's. Did they have that in Canada?
Yes.
Did they have
thought you-
different winners in the U.S.?
I assume there were different winners in the U.S.
I don't know. I don't know.
Was there? I never assumed there was winners. I just assumed maybe you get like a free Coke.
No, there's a winners if you got Park Place and Boardwalk.
No, I never.
You won like $1 million if you got Park Place and Boardwalk.
Never made
Yeah.
it that far, but I did win free French fries at least once or twice.
You can win that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
That's an
couldn't
instant
win
win.
because it was rigged by these people in this documentary.
Mm.
That's the documentary.
But they didn't rig the free French fries.
I'll
you were
watch the
good.
documentary.
I feel like I'm over the documentary. I feel like I've gotten what I needed out of it.
But if they're
it's pretty
paid,
good.
it might be reality shows. Think about that.
Rob, I need the 1 minute update.
Oh, you need the update.
yeah.
So-
Sorry, guys. 1 minute.
The
Quick,
Masked
just a
Singer
quick.
There's a lo-
update.
So I'm definitely upset because I think we found a problem with this film in 3 episodes in one day because the crowd got drunk and they have not kicked out Gronk, and this is just a big problem.
What?
And
Why would you kick Gronk out?
because he's terrible at singing.
Yeah, but it's Gronk.
So they did when there was only 4, they did a little medley song where they all had to sing together. I'm pretty sure Gronk's mic was off. I'm pretty sure because each of the other 3 had a part where they were singing on their own, and he's just jumping around and you don't even hear him. And then instead of kicking off him, they kicked off the lady monster who was Shaka Khan. And it's like, why are you this is just so then they got introduced a new group of people. One of them, there's some Atlanta 1996 Olympic references. It might be Michael Johnson, though then Jenny McCarthy guessed Michael Johnson. So I don't want to be on the same page as Jenny McCarthy, so I think it's probably too obvious. But then kicked off was the elephant. It's a very good costume. It was like, imagine an elephant crossed with Optimus Prime. That was what this looked like.
Oh.
I was in. And it was Tony Hawk.
Oh.
So
How
not
was Tony Hawk as a singer?
I mean, not terrible, but it was definitely like, I think the elephant's one of the ones who might get kicked off. But I'm not trusting the process anymore. I don't know if they're going to kick off the bad singers anymore with this whole Gronk disaster. So
So are you out?
I mean, I'm not out. I'm still watching. But
He's not. There's no way he's out. Look at him.
All
Oh
right.
wow, this is very interesting. So previously, as we were talking, I like keeping up with the Masked Singer by going to the Wikipedia page. You can see what's going on. When I went there before, it was kind of odd. It already declared who the winner was for season 3
oh,
and exposed who was in that costume.
oh,
And so I was like a little confused, like why the Wikipedia page is set up like that. Now I'm going back to the Wikipedia page. It's gone.
oh.
So I don't know if I have some inside dirt.
That
You
history is
probably-
You
there.
got to keep that and then reveal if it matches the reality.
I
at the end
will.
or not.
I will.
So-
I'm gonna write it down in my notes.
Write down your notes.
and we'll see if it comes out.
The level of internet cornering that's happening is out of control right now.
I mean, he's
Constantly
back.
polling.
We've been missing the internet corner. And he's
true.
got to really bring the strong internet corner.
Big time. In real time, as
He's
we were
bringing
recording
it
this
bringing
pod.
strong. All right. Well, you can find us on Twitter at @HoopWithTheSon. You can find us on Facebook.com/HoopWithTheSon. You can email us questions and suggestions at HoopWithTheSon@gmail.com. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye bye.
I'm ready to sail.
Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me.